Hi, and welcome back to the Citizen Channel. I'm Bernard. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And we're going to look forward to match day 2, aren't we? Please, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy what I try and do, I try and inform and entertain if I can. Please push that subscribe button. Tell your mates, that'd be great. And please give us a like. Make an old City fan very, very happy. We're going to talk match day 2 today, guys. City versus Bournemouth, 13th of August at the Etihad. A nice 3 p.m. kickoff. Nice when you're a regular goer. Not so good when you're struggling to watch it, of course. So this is match day 2 of the 22-23 season, part 1. Part 1, yeah, it's in 2 parts, this one, isn't it? Yeah, no availability live on UK TV, of course. If you're outside of the UK, you've assumedly got plenty of options. Your options, excuse me, here in the UK, a little bit limited, unfortunately. Yeah, match odds. Let's have a quick look what the bookies are thinking. As you'd imagine, not very kind to City on this one, please. I don't condone gambling when the fun stop. These prices are at the 9th of August 22 when I did my little odds show. Please check that out as well. A lot of info on there, not just ploughing through prices and stuff, just some details and background information and reasoning as well. So please give that a watch as well. It'd be much appreciated. So there we go. The match odds: City 1-16 on. A draw is 12-1. Bournemouth 40-1, 40-1. So plenty of options for Bournemouth to have a cheeky 50p on there, that's for sure. City to win the title, yeah, we shortened up slightly after match day 1, so we've gone into 4-7 on now. So yeah, we're a little slightly better from a betting perspective before the first game, but obviously the bookies are convinced. I'm surprised Mr. Doan hasn't already paid out, in all fairness. Bournemouth, sadly, yeah, of the 3 teams, all three promoted teams are still favourites to be relegated, which is no surprise. And Bournemouth are the actual favourites to be relegated at 4-6. Last time we played them, yeah, not that long ago, actually. They've been out of the Premier League for a season or 2, but of course it was the 24th of September 2020 in the old Carabao Cup, a 2-1 win. Delap scored a debut goal in the 18th minute, a left-foot drive, great goal. Surridge, though, managed to pull one back for Bournemouth, 22 minutes. Delap scored after 18. And yeah, we had to wait to the 75th minute for a slightly scuffed goal from Mr. Foden from a rebound the keeper couldn't hold. So, yeah, so it wasn't conclusive by any means. So let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at Scott Parker's Bournemouth, what they've been up to. Obviously, they've only played one game like us. What they've been up to on the transfer market. No major departures from Bournemouth during the close season. Obviously, there's still 16, 17 days left as I'm recording this. Senesi was a centre-back. He's come from Liverpool from Feyenoord. I've got Liverpool on my brain, guys. Feyenoord for 13 million. Tavernier is a midfielder. He's from Middlesbrough. He came for £11 million. They got on a free Rothwell. He's a midfielder from Blackburn. Neto, yeah, that's interesting. He's obviously could play tomorrow, but he's we'll talk about that in a second. He's from Barcelona. And Ryan Fredericks, yeah, with Premier League experience, of course, as a right back for West Ham. They've got him as well. So, I mean, they've not exactly gone overboard with obviously people who are used to playing the Premier League. I mean, the thing is, they've been keen to renew contracts of key players, so they've managed to do that. They think can help them stay in the Premiership. Gavin Kilkenny, Marc Travers, Dominic Solanke and Lewis Cook have all signed contract extensions during the close season. And with the club since promotion to the Premier League, and now it's Adam Smith's turn on the 10th of August 2022. So he's done that as well. Adam Smith's also joined those guys. Renewing the contracts. Nathaniel Phillips, centre-back, is a possibility. Been hinted from Liverpool. That's gone a bit quiet recently. And Josh Bowley, who actually attempted to sign from Blackpool in January, is still on the radar. But apart from that, nothing impressive. So basically, you're sort of sticking with the same sort of squad, aren't you? Okay, they're above us in the table at the moment. All credit to them. Okay, only alphabetical. They're even above Arsenal, of course, even though B comes after A. Obviously, the AFC Bournemouth. I did a little feature recently on, of course, History Boys about Bournemouth and the reasons why they called themselves AFC Bournemouth. And that's why, because obviously it's put them into second spot in the league table behind, of course, Tottenham Hotspur at the moment because of the AFC Bournemouth. So there you go. In the same way that City were comfortable at West Ham, they were comfortable over Aston Villa. Perhaps Aston Villa, perhaps not as good as we think they might. They might be struggling this season, but it's early days. It's one game, isn't it? And of course, it did look a little bit undercooked. And the stats, though, were all in Aston Villa's favour, apart from the key ones, which is getting the ball in the net, of course. So, yeah, Aston Villa were, on the balance of play, the better team, but it's all about getting the old ball in the onion bag, isn't it? And they got that through goals from Jefferson Lerma. Yeah, apparently, now, I don't know if this is Premier League years. You never know these days when they come out with these stats. Was the earliest goal from a promoted team in the top division. Now, I don't think that's just Premier League or generally. You never know with these. Everyone thinks the Premier League started 30 years ago, of course. But yeah, so the Lerma goal against Villa was the earliest from a promoted team. That was a record. And Kiefer Moore scored as well. Poor pass accuracy. I noticed that only about 70%. I mean, if they did that against Villa, they'd probably find it struggle to get anywhere near that tomorrow, so they're going to have to improve vastly on that to stand a chance. The next 5 games include Arsenal at home, Liverpool away, Wolves home, Forest away, and Brighton home. So if you look at those last 3 there, they've got to be aiming for 7 points from these 5 games. They're not going to be aiming for any from against Liverpool, us and Arsenal. Let's be honest about it. That would take them to a potential of 10 points from 7 games after 7 games. So that would be considered on the basis that they played us, Arsenal and Liverpool. Not a bad start, I don't think. So they'll be happy with that. Let's see how that goes. We'll see what happens after 7 games, guys. Keep it in your mind. And yeah, as I said, they are the favourites to go down. It will be a tough season. I mean, stats say, and me and my stats, 42% of promoted teams actually get relegated. So it's a struggle. So obviously, 42%. So obviously, in theory, 2 teams could go down out of the 3 that come up. So I don't see anything to perhaps alter that this season unless someone falls off a cliff. But as I say, I'll be doing a little review of the league when we're a few games in just to see how everyone's bedded in. But yeah, so if you get 10 points from 7 games, that'll be a bonus. Injury-wise, yeah, Fredericks may be back. He has had a calf injury, he may be back. And Rothwell is suffering from a thigh injury, so he won't. And of course, we've got Neto and Senesi, who could be plumped straight into the action at the Etihad. But yeah, he may want to just wait on that one and still play Marc Travers. He's the keeper, of course. Neto's another keeper, so he may stick Marc Travers in for this one. So be interesting to see. It is, again, as we say, and Pep hinted at it in his press conference, which we'll quickly mention in a moment, it's a proverbial free hit, isn't it? There's no real pressure on a promoted team at this stage in the season. They can go out and try and play a little bit of football. And at this stage in the season, if you're going to play City, it's possibly one of the better times to play City. We had a good win last week, but we never quite kicked off, as quickly as perhaps we should have done the last few seasons. But there have been reasons. But yeah, good time for Bournemouth to play City. But yeah, anyway, that brings us on to Pep and City, of course. Just looked at his press conference, or the first half of his press conference. He said, obviously, as I hinted at there, it's always difficult playing newly promoted teams because there's just no pressure. He confirmed that. He was asked about Sergio Gomez. Yeah, and I've heard that, I've read it on Twitter today from one of our so-called reputable City people that he will be going out on loan. But as far as Pep's concerned, he's going to be joining the first team and going to be available alongside Cancelo, Walker and Wilson Esbrand, who perhaps might think his nose has been put out a little bit, don't you? What do you think? With this guy Gomez coming in, similar sort of age, aren't they? I think so. That'd be interesting to see how that pans out. Anyway, yeah, and also as well as that, as far as injuries, yeah, we know Laporte's out, but Cole Palmer apparently took a knock, so he's not considered. I didn't have him in my starting 11 anyway. And another one who didn't have my starting 11, but I wouldn't have minded was, of course, Phillips. Phillips has got niggles, which he had in pre-season as well, didn't he? So that's a bit of a worry with Phillips. He's not getting the rub of the green injury wise, is it? So that brings us nicely to decisions. Which obviously after the last game, Pep had 6 days to play around with, didn't he, till game 2, and he could have easily go into the game and not make any changes. But because let's face it, I don't think anyone definitely deserves to be dropped. There's a few players not 100% at it. But I think if players miss out tomorrow, we'll have to call it rested or just general messing about with the system. This is a brand new system, don't forget. I mean, game one, you've got all these people talking about the fullbacks playing in a different role, etc. So Pep's got to get all his guys. He's had some of the guys for 7 years now, so some can react quite quickly. Others might be a little bit slower. So he's got to start doing a little different system. He perhaps needs to introduce and not just play the same guys, and we know he won't. We know he'll make at least a couple of changes, I would have thought, for tomorrow. Certainly, he doesn't want to switch around too much with these early, what we consider winnable games in the Premier League. We don't want to be dropping points against the likes of Bournemouth or Newcastle away, which won't be easy, etc., etc. So certainly in these early, I don't expect a raft of changes, that's for sure, in the Premier League. So let's have a look in a bit more detail. In defence, surely Stones needs some time, but where are we going to put him in? What I've done and what I'm thinking is why not play, because Aki's been playing super. For me, Aki's been the best defender the last one of the pre-season games and last week. Why not play Aki on the left against Bournemouth and have Stones and Diaz and get them back in the swing of it? With Cancelo on the right for this game. Give Walker a break. We know what Walker's capable of doing. We know Walker. We don't need to know what Walker can and can't do. We know exactly what he can do. So give Walker a rest for tomorrow. So that'll give Stones a chance. And it'll give Cancelo a chance to play on the right in this, if Pep is playing a new system, in this new system. You get onto Wilson Esbrand, of course, which we mentioned before. He might have his nose out of joint a little bit with the arrival of Gomez, but I couldn't see him starting tomorrow, that's for sure, against Bournemouth, because that's not Pep's way. So I don't think he's a problem, as long as he's willing to be patient and willing to sort of be there for cup games and stuff like that. Well, certainly, sort of Carabao Cup games, certainly not FA Cup. Even FA Cup games, he might struggle at times. And Phillips, yeah, it's not a problem, is it, anymore? He did need game time and he needs to shuffle perhaps with Rodri and gain a bit of experience within the system. He can be utilised in other positions, of course, which Pep's already done as far as pre-season is concerned. But yeah, I mean, that solved the problem for me. I was thinking Phillips needs a chance, but he's not going to get a chance anyway if he's got a knock. So Rodri will be bang on now to play against Bournemouth tomorrow as I'm recording this. I'm sure Phillips' time will come, but we needs to shake off these little niggly injuries, doesn't it? KDB, I think it's far too early to give KDB a rest. I think he'll be starting with this, and his link up with Alvarez, for instance, if Alvarez got to go, and more importantly, his link up with Haaland's got to be progressed, hasn't it? Needs more match practice. We've already seen it in action. Let's keep doing it. And the problem for me there is Bernardo. Whilst rumours about him persist, it's whether he's going to start tomorrow or Gundogan. I'll tell you now, I put Gundogan in my team, but obviously if Bernardo stays, which I'm sure he will. I'm sure Barcelona haven't got the capabilities or the money to take him. And even though obviously there's a lot of discomfort and a lot being said in the press, etc. As I said, it'll tell us a lot tomorrow what's happening. I mean, if Bernardo starts, there's no way he's leaving this club before the transfer window unless something exceptional happens. But if Gundo starts, that probably says a lot, doesn't it, about it? Let's face it, Bernardo's going to put in 100%. He knows that. We know that as a guy. But yeah, as I said, my heart says Bernardo, but I do expect Gundogan to rock up tomorrow. So we'll see anyway. I'll give you my 11 in a minute. But don't expect Bernardo to go anywhere. Haaland's got to be a shoo-in, hasn't he? I mean, all right, he might rest him, he might try Alvarez, but he needs his Etihad introduction, doesn't he, in front of the fans? And although Pep doesn't do sentiment, the buzz and advantage of doing this is obviously clear to City by playing him tomorrow. So I think he's another one. I'd be very surprised if he's not in the start 11. And now it all gets a little bit interesting. To say a lot of the positions are sorting themselves out already this early in the season with injuries and various other things. But I don't expect Grealish to get a chance. I think he'll be rested for this one. I'm not going to say dropped. I think he's going to be rested. And I'm fairly sure Pep will like to play Mahrez instead. But the fly in the ointment, it's got to be Alvarez. Got to be Alvarez. I mean, he's itching, and his play warrants him starting these games. And he would love an Etihad start. I'm sure the fans would love an Etihad start. So he's a fly in the ointment. I think with Foden more or less guaranteed on the other side. I think Alvarez will possibly accept for now starting on the bench again for this game. So to say. All these are my little feelings. Tell me what you think, guys, for this. I mean, the ideal scenario, of course, is to be comfortable, say 3-0 up into the second half and get at least 3 of the players that hopefully will play a big part in the season off the bench for the last 20 or 30 minutes. That's still got to be the ideal. And of course, we've not mentioned Cole Palmer, but again, that's been sorted because he's got a knock, so he's not a problem. If he does get over, he's knocking on the bench, but I don't think he will be. So he's another one who would have had to wait patiently, but it doesn't matter now because he wouldn't have got the option anyway. So it's a bit fortunate. I mean, as the weeks go on and these knocks get onto other players, become a bit more desperate. But at the moment, it's sorting itself out, really, because I think we've more or less mentioned everyone we need to mention. So I'm going with 2 changes to the West Ham game, just 2 changes. So this is my team. Based on what I've said, the big thing for me is Gundogan and Bernardo. That's going to be the big problem. But if we can get 8 or 9 of these right, I'll be quite happy. But I can only see Pep making a couple of changes to the West Ham game. Maximum 3 changes, but no more than that. So I'm going to go Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Ake, Rodri, KDB, Gundogan, Foden, Haaland, and Mahrez. So that's my start 11. Let me know your guys. Let me know what you think. And a City win, 3-0, minimum. The more the merrier, of course. I was going for 2-0, but I think we'll be flying out of the traps tomorrow, so I'm hoping for at least a 3-0. If it ends up more than that, more the merrier. Who's in charge? Well, in charge in the middle, David Coote is the referee, and the last match he did was City's away win at Brentford on December the 29th, a bit colder than 2021. And a referee for the Sheffield United against Millwall in the Championship last weekend, and he refereed 25 matches in total last season. He showed 108 yellow cards and 3 red cards. So, yeah, last time he did City, though, I don't think he give out a card, so he's kind. Perhaps he's kind. We'll see from Mr. Coote tomorrow. He's one of the lesser known, isn't he? But he will become more known as time goes on. His linos: Nick Hopton, Timothy Wood, 4th official Josh Smith, and the guy has it all to do. The guy I love saying because I love his name, and if you know Steve Martin, you like Father of the Bride, yes, on VAR we've got Peter Bonks, yes, good old Peter Bonks on there. A lot of you guys will be thinking, what the hell's he on about? But hey, there you go, Peter Bonks is on VAR, and making his coffee is none other than Adam Nunn. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know your scores. Let me know your score predictions. That'd be great. Of course, I'm hoping to get the player ratings out Saturday night when I've got back from the game, but obviously might be a time problem with that. If I don't, it'll be out first thing Sunday morning. And of course, the talking points will be out probably on Monday. Yeah, so I do leave it a day so I can re-watch the game after watching it live and see if it's any changes to the player ratings that I come up with straight after the game, having watched it at the ground. So that's always an interesting one, because last time I did that, I upped some player. I upped about four players, I think, with the marks once I got back and rewatched it after being on the Community Shield game. So that was interesting. It gives us an interesting slant on it, and it gives us a say 24, 48 hours to think about the game and what's happened, whether good or bad, and obviously the talking points is a sort of brief match report as well included in there. So join me for that. And lots of stuff, of course, coming over the next few days. Please join me Monday, don't forget as well, guys, for Citizen Monday Night Live. Let's call it that. Citizen Channel Monday Night Live. Yeah, missed a couple last week because I wasn't going to do one because of a personal problem, but we managed to get one out. There will be one on Monday. What date are we on? The 15th, Monday the 15th of August. Yeah, there'll be another 3. Then I'm actually away for a week or 2, so make the most of it, guys. Get on it. It'd be great to see you. Anyway, watch all my stuff. I'll keep throwing them out there. Hope you enjoy them. Let me know what to say. Let me know your comments, guys. Let me know your teams. Let me know your score predictions. Until we meet again, please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.